Ethiopia. Today I'm going to present about the BlinKey, which is a two-factor user authentication method for user reliability devices. Here are the authors, and all are from the University of Texas at Arlington. This conference was conducted in UBCOM 2021. Here are the outline, which consists of 5 parts. So let us start from the introduction part. As you know, the virtual reality, which is designated by VR, is an immersive technology that allows users to experience a virtual world with a head-mounted devices. So the rapid development of VR has been in the past few years with a constantly growing popularity. As you can see here, in 2019 it was 11.52 billion, and it's expected to reach around 87.97 billion in 2025. And a massive personal information are stored in VR devices such as email, photos, accounts, and bank infos. And current user authentication schemes fell shortly into categories for security and usability analysis. One is knowledge-based authentication, which consists of a PIN, pattern lock, lock unlock, and other authentication system. And the other one is the biometric authentication. Basically, it consists of a hand gesture and brain biometrics, skull conducts, and other systems. So in this application, VR devices store the user's personal information such as email, photos, videos, and browsing history, as well as on online login accounts and passwords. Recently, online shopping and in-app purchasing have emerged as important e-commerce opportunities for VR devices. For example, in eBay launched a VR department store where a user can shop around in the virtual environment and make transactions online. So VR is also deemed as a feature of a social media interaction such as Facebook. Now the Facebook start beta testing for its new VR social network, which is called Horizon. So let us see the current solutions. Most of the current solutions are following a scheme designed for general purpose devices has been proved vulnerability to shoulder serving attack due to site blocking caused by the headset. Unfortunately, user authentication on VR devices is not so far well investigated. Current solutions, which include the password, a digital PIN, and drawing pattern, and most follow the conventional approach for general personal devices. However, this system has been proved vulnerable to a shoulder serving attack, as well as a password, a PIN pattern enter in VR devices leaves a little leverage to obfuscate the secret entry process. So if the adversary is aware of the virtual digit board layout, can be easily decode the hand movement to infer the PIN inputs. So the inference is even easier for the pattern-based authentication, since the attacker need only to track the hand movement trajectory without acquiescing the knowledge of the virtual board input design. So moreover, because of the user view is completely blocked from the physical world by the headset, it renders the user challenging to be aware of the presence of shoulder serving attacks. And also there has been effort trying to fill this gap. They either rely on some highly advanced equipment such as electrode to read the brain waves, or to introduce a heavily cognitive load that has been perform a series of cumbersome authentication tasks. So therefore, an authentication method for VR devices that is robust and convenient are now much needed. So here is the comparison of the BlinKey with other authentication approach for VR devices. As you can see here from the table, the BlinKey, which is present by this work, this paper, contain a high efficiency in a key space, and also no need for a hand touch, and also it has no need for involving extra sensors, and medium in the accuracy, and also its security level is high as compared to others, and medium in the locking time and memorable with other authentication approaches which suggest for VR devices. So let us see their contribution. Here is their contribution. First, they present a design, implementation, and evaluation of a two-factor user authentication systems, which is called a BlinKey. And for VR devices, they are equipped with an eye tracker. The second one is they conduct an extensive experiment evaluation with 52 participants, where their experiment results show that the scheme can be achieved the average of the equal error rate as low as 4% with only 6 training sample. And finally, they carried out a questionnaire based on pre and post study to prepare the survey. Based on the survey result, the BlinKey is well accepted as a user authentication system for VR devices. So let us see the system design, which consists of the proposed system overview, and prototype. So let us begin with the proposed system. As you can see here in this paper, they propose a BlinKey, which is a practical two-factor authentication systems for VR devices that are equipped with the eye tracker, and a user authenticate themselves by blinking the eye following a certain rhythm only known by themselves. So it is a new passcode style authentication rather than numbers, letters, or characters. Users choose different bits or rhythms when blinking. So basically, the BlinKey can be easily created by a user, for example, by extracting some bits from his or favorite songs or jingles. So the knowledge-based information of a BlinKey is characterized by the timing of its blinks, which can be recorded by the eye tracker together with the system clock. And additionally, a BlinKey is also characterized by its biometric features, and we observe that how human pupil adapt to light after blinks. More specifically, the variation of a pupil size is unique for each person. This is one character, and as a BlinKey is composed of multiple blinks, when they treat the pupil size variation captured by the eye tracker between the blinks are biological markers. Incorporating the above knowledge-based and biometric features, BlinKey has two-factor authentication to determine whether a user is legitimate or not. This is the proposed systems. So let us see the system overview. As you can see here, the system overview. The system consists of basically 4 parts. It incorporates 4 parts. One is user interface and data collection part. The second one is the pre-processing. Third one is feature extraction, and finally the classification phases. So let us see each in detail. As you can see here, in case of user interface and data collections, it consists of 2 phases. One is the registering phase, the other one is the locking phase, and in each steps or phases, the eye tracker it will collect the user data, including a blinking button signal and a pupil size adaptation signals, which is collected by the eye tracker, and finally give out a real-time pupil size result to pre-processing stage. And also in the pre-processing stage, second stage, the object of this component is twofold. That is to filter out first the noise in the road signal, and second to decompose the signal into ingredients that contain knowledge-based and biometric features separately. This is the main use of the pre-processing. And also, as you can see here, there's a start and end detection. After this, it will send to a denoising part. When you say denoising, the road signal is mainly composed of three components, which is voluntary blinking, spontaneous blinking, and also the pupil adapting variation between blinkers. So these are done involuntary and distinct from the voluntary blinkers in a BlinKey, as the movement of the spontaneous blink brings to the noise to the feature extractions, the authentication accuracy. The goal of this denoising phase is to eliminate the spontaneous blink from the raw signals. This is one advantage. The other one is after the denoising signal, it will send it for decomposition purposes. When you say decomposition, the goal of the decomposition is to extract from the denoise signal user blink rhythms and segments, which is known by knowledge-based features and biometric feature of the BlinKey. And the decomposition process facilitates the feature extraction, which is the next phase here. And a segment is simply a set of non-zero pupil size values between two consecutive blinkers, and a segment reflects the user pupil variation after each voluntary blinkers. So this decomposition phase is done by detecting all onset and offset in a BlinKey. After this process, the third phase is feature extraction. Once the blink and segments are ready, we are ready to extract from the desired features. Basically, there are two: knowledge-based or features or biometric based features. So knowledge-based features can be directly derived from the BlinKey item, and also the biometric features involving their systems are classified into two: time domain feature and frequency domain feature, because some analysis are not comfortable in time zone. So we use the fast Fourier transform to convert to a frequency domain, and we analysis such as the statistical features and Fourier coefficients, which is done on the frequency domain. And also the last part is the the classification, the classification phase. In this classification, once the feature of the BlinKey are extracted following the previous steps, which is pre-processing and the feature extraction, the remaining task is to appeal the classification methods for user authentication purposes. That is to discriminate the legitimate user from the unlegitimate one or the imposer. So two common classification methods are considered in this paper. One is one class support vector machine, which is SVM, and also the other one is the k nearest neighbor classification method, or KNN method, and the result is given to for authentication purposes. And also the classification performance are examined through the following methods, such as a false rejection rate, FRR, or false acceptance rate, or FAR, and equal error rate, or EER. So let us see the prototype since they implement the experiment for evaluation of security and usability based on this prototype, and these are the components they involve for the evaluation purposes. One is HTC Vive Pro headset, and for eye tracker, People Lab 5 Pro add-on, and other specific parameters for the security analysis are listed here. So let us see the evaluation parts. They evaluate the security of the BlinKey against 4 types of attacks. The first one is zero effort attack, and second one is statical attack. Third one is shoulder serving attack, and fourth one is credential aware attack, and other include how the system respond for distance, the attacker distance from the user. And as you can see here, zero effort attack, where the attacker randomly guesses the secret key, and basically this BlinKey it will respond for this kind of attack with 0 for BlinKey length of 7, and also for statical attack the same, it will be reached to 0 for BlinKey length 8. So the BlinKey achieve low forward acceptance rate against these 2 types of attacks, especially the far drop to 0 as the BlinKey length reach to 7 or 8 respectively. And in case of shoulder serving attack, where the attacker observes the user's entering key, the BlinKey present much better security level than that of the pin and pattern lock kind of attack systems. As you can see here, it's very as compared with 2 others. And the fourth one is the credential aware attack, in which the attacker knows the complete information of the user. So in this case, for example, in case of attempt 10, the length 10, it will be around 4.4% as compared with the pin and pattern lock. So complete information, BlinKey remain high secure while conventional schemes become vulnerable. Let us see the usability evaluation part, and they evaluate the usability of BlinKey from aspect of one is from the logging time, and other is from logging attempt. As you can see here, in case of logging attempt, the average logging time is around 9.6 seconds, which is within an average range for practical users. And logging attempt, in case of this logging attempt, more than 93.3% of BlinKey can be successfully authenticated in the first attempt, which is much larger than that of the pin and pattern lock. And this means that the legitimate user is very uniquely to be denied access on the first attempt. It is impossible. So let us see the experimental result for the demonstration. As you can see here, they conduct the experiment to show one is the registration phase, and the other one is to show the logging phases for authentication purposes. For in case of the registration phase, and the registration phase in which the user enrolled the BlinKey several times for registration purposes. After registration, the user, a legitimate user, can be attempt to log in, and the result may be a successful login, which is when the authentication is correct, or it may result for a failed authentication. So when we say a successful login attempt, in which the inter BlinKey is considered the same as that of the enrolled one. But in case of the failed, the inter BlinKey is not equal to the enrolled one. So the result is either of the two. One is maybe successful or it may be say fail. So to conclude, as VR devices are increasing waved into our daily life, providing security to the data acquired by or accessed through these devices become critical important nowadays. BlinKey employ a user-designed BlinKey rhythm and unique biometric exhibition and pupil size variation to figure print legitimate user with compare with that of the imposer. And also they try to compare to the prior works. Their solution deliver a secure authentication methods, incurring low cognitive overhead and offer a great convenience for the users. This is all. Thank you.